Who? 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 Yeah, yeah. OVO Sound 2025. Who's calling that shit?
Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? Is it Keisha? Is it Emily? Was it Danny? Is it Marty? Where's the function?
Where the fuck the function? Where the fuck the function? The way I feel right now, I feel like we need to be all alone. So if you just playing around, you need to tell your girl, take a fine ass home, and that's real. Stop teasing me, stop teasing me. I could change your life so easily. I keep begging you to stay, but you're leaving me. We got sticks in the club illegally. Got the whole 6 side, they believe in me. We got members east of the DVP. We got members west on the 401. We got a lock on the game, but there's more to come. You gotta pop that ass till the morning come. You want shots for the girls, they don't order some. Who's calling it? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who?
What's going on? How we doing?
What up, boys?
Gentlemen? Welcome to the 2025 WNBA Ramble Draft Party.
Happy to have you. DC, what it do, chat? Long time no see. Haven't seen you guys since the draft for fantasy football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Taking this opportunity to give DC some screen time and also expose some of his WNBA knowledge that most of you guys may not not know about, I should say. WNBA draft is crazy. It may be, but what else are you going to be watching tonight? Not baseball, right? Not NBA. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Me and DC have taken the time out of our day to make our own personal mock drafts. So, we'd like to inform you all about the upcoming women that'll be in the WNBA this summer.
Let's run through it.
So the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, you want me? Let me present this screen here.
Bro.
Let me pull up the odds.
I support women in all facets of the world, whether that be sports, corporate level, just everywhere. So, DC, I know you had a prop tonight in the draft.
I do. We can talk about that when we get to it. It's the number 2 pick, so.
Okay.
They locked the odds for the number 1 pick. Did you look at that?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. You'd probably be better off taking LeBron for 10 plus points. I think that may have better value than Paige Beckers, but no surprise that she should be everybody's number 1 overall pick. Did they announce the draft lottery yet, or are we still waiting on that?
What about it?
Who is the number 1 overall pick? Is it the Storm or
Wings got 1?
It's the Wings. Okay, the Wings have the number 1 overall pick. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I kind of like that spot for her and Arike Ogunbowale. That's gonna be a tough. That's a tough backcourt to deal with. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna use her at point guard. They probably should. They haven't really had a great point guard in the past few years or so since I've been watching. So it'll be nice for Arike, and with Sabali gone, they have a big.
It seems like it's a hole that they've been having, and they're finally about to fill that void. Honestly, I think so.
Yeah, with Sabali going to the Mercury, it's a very different roster than last year. There's a lot like and then they brought in Dejanay Carrington from the Sun. They brought in Ty Harris from the Sun. They brought in Alyssa Smith from the Fever. They brought in a lot of new pieces, so it's gonna take them a little to figure out their new identity. But I mean, Paige is obvious.
It's gonna be a lot of time to figure out that game plan and the scheme that they should be rolling with. Who's gonna have the ball? Is it Paige? Is it gonna be Arike? I don't know. I
Number
think
one pick, though, we already know. Paige
yeah,
Buckets.
definitely should be Paige. Now this number 2 overall pick.
Look at the
Uh,
odds here.
Jesus. So when you dropped your play, Dominique, she was what? Minus
200.
300? 200? Jesus Christ. I'm seeing what? Plus
Minus
minus
4,000.
4,000. Jesus.
Yep.
H.
Talk about CLV, right?
Yeah, I never. If CLV was ever a thing, I think it would definitely be right here because it should already give you a payout, right? It should already give you your money right now.
So
No.
so my boy, I can't bet it in like Connecticut. They don't offer them.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally texted every group chat I'm in and just said, yo, I need to put down money on a bet. Can anyone do it for me? And one of my boys from high school hit me up like an hour after and said he could because I was fiending to get this bet. It was minus 180 on FanDuel originally and minus 200 on DK. And FanDuel steamed it up to minus 230 within 5 minutes of me seeing it. And then DraftKings just held the line for too long. I got to the minus 200 flat. I have 3 units to win 1.5. And now it is minus 4,000. So
I'm not gonna lie, Chad.
I think it's most CLV I've ever got.
If you have Bet365, correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw this earlier today. I'm gonna double check it right now, but I saw Dominique is minus 400. So compared to FanDuel, there's still some value out there if you guys want to ride with the boys.
Yeah, a little juicy, but you know.
Little juicy, but
Look at the
value.
Yeah, it's minus 4,000 on DK it's minus 2,500. So
insane.
That's crazy.
Me personally, so it's the Storm that had that number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Man, I can see them taking Dominique. I really can, but I believe that Kiki from USC, she may have a chance. Now, most of these WNBA drafts are strictly just by the book. Whatever you've been seeing on the internet and the articles, that's where you're going. So I may be just going out here on a flyer, but I'm seeing Kiki at 29-1 on FanDuel. If you want to sprinkle for some value, you might.
Oh shit! It just went down to 3,500. What do they know?
Oh wow! The whale watchers, chat. Where are they at? Where are they at? There's 295 of you here. I think one of y'all are the
someone just faded the shit out of that. It looks like
somebody.
It's all right.
A good listener. Somebody's a good listener. So I really do like this Kiki girl. I love the way that she stepped up for her team in a tournament when Juju went down. She really did her best to lead them to I don't think they won the tournament, their conference tournament, but
no, they lost to UCLA in the conference, and then they lost to UConn in the tournament.
Yeah, so I mean, for what it's worth, the player comp that I have for her is a guy kind of like Moses Malone. So I believe that she's one of those big men that will definitely clean the glass, and she's a very good shot taker as well. Good post up kind of scorer, and I love that the improvement that she made from 2023 up until now, coming from the Pac-12. So we can
100%.
move on to the third pick.
Speaking of, we forgot to do player comps for Beckers.
Oh yes, you're right. You want me to go first?
I'll go first just to set the tone.
All right.
Because I heard yours, and chat's gonna be tripping when they see that.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. They don't know yet.
So for me, my NBA player comp, we're doing NBA player comps just to kind of I know a lot of you guys probably don't watch the WNBA. It's still a growing league. So just to kind of relate it to the NBA, we have the playoffs coming up. we figured we'd do a little NBA player comp after watching some film and looking at their stats and stuff like that. So for me, Paige Beckers, I see Kyrie. I see a little bit of Kyrie. I mean, the way she creates her shots, can get to the rack, can shoot. Like, she is the only freshman in the history of women's college basketball to win the Naismith Player of the Year. And she averaged this year 19, 4, and 4. Her shooting splits 53 from the field, 42 from 3, and 91 from the line. Like 50, 40, 90. I mean, she's minus 20,000 to go number one for a reason. So people forget freshman year Paige was a dog, and then she had some injuries, and now she's back.
We don't have a big stinky player comp, Royal. I'm sorry, but we do have a few. We do have a Knicks guy, and one of mine. But
I have one
going
too.
back to Paige Beckers, my player comp for her is simply LeBron, bro. Honestly, she's been the most talked about player for years. She has multiple Player of the Year awards. She has the Wooden, the Naismith, the
King.
Yeah, she literally
the King.
But she's
LeBron,
the queen.
Raymond James.
She's literally the queen. So with what she's done, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody found out about Caitlin Clark, right? For however which reason that they found out about her, but I've always known about Paige Beckers. Paige, I knew her as Paige Buckets. See, I thought her last name was Buckets for about a year until I actually looked her up and found out that it's actually Beckers. But there's literally nobody that you can compare her to. Honestly, she's also, we mentioned her ability to make tough shots, her playmaking. She has the IQ of a one of a kind type of basketball player. I can only think of one person when it comes to that, and that's LeBron. So, and not even getting into her leadership, the way that she was able to lead her team to the Natty this year too. So I got to go with LeBron. Kyrie is a good second. I thought I was thinking about Kyrie, but as I was going through my mock, I found somebody else, and I was like, I got to give her Kyrie. So
yeah, and what a fairy tale ending. Senior year, going off to the league as the first pick with a natty. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
That's literally that. I mean, the only other person I could think of with a fairy tale story like that is LeBron James, honestly.
Cleveland.
So
this is for you.
Can we get into that third pick?
Yeah. Let me go back.
And the draft should be.
So my Dominique Malonga player comp. I know you went on. I didn't get to talk about her. So I had 3 units on this, as I've said. It's my most confident bet since the Blazers win total, which I actually just went to the casino to cash today. That was the freest bet ever.
Can we drop some W's in the chat for the Blazers team total this year? Win total? That was probably one of the sharpest futures I've ever heard this year. I don't think anybody other than this guy was on the Blazers this year.
No one. But with that, I saw this line open at 180. I literally said, "What the fuck is FanDuel doing?"
All right.
For player comp, if you watch Dominique Malonga, there's clips of her dunking in game. There's clips of her dunking out of game. She's literally a Wemby and Giannis hybrid. Like, it is crazy. She's 6'6" with a 7'1" wingspan and can move like a guard. If the Storm don't take her at number 2, it might go down as the biggest mistake in WNBA history. Yeah. I mean, this girl is insane. She's 19 years old, averaging 15 and 11 in a professional French league full of grown-ass women.
Right.
19.
So is she the youngest in the league?
Will be.
That league?
Maybe. Some of them start like very young playing pro.
I know they start at about 18. So
yeah, she will probably be the youngest in the WNBA once she gets drafted.
Jesus. But. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think she's
literally Wemby.
Like a Wemby, but it's All right.
Okay.
Yes, I'm telling you. So obviously, it's not gonna be like that straight out the gate, right? Players have to develop. Giannis wasn't
It's the
the Giannis
ceiling.
that we know now.
It's the ceiling.
Giannis wasn't the Giannis that we know now in 2013, right? He was only playing like 12 games a year.
People
So
forget that
obviously,
Giannis, his first 2K he was on, he was like a 60 something overall.
yeah, I didn't know about
He
Giannis
didn't have
until
the
maybe
hype coming out of the
2015.
draft. So I think a Wemby Giannis hybrid is her like ceiling. Obviously, she's not going to be like fucking actually Wemby and Giannis. But if we're trying to compare and kind of mesh
Yeah.
and help you guys out to understand how good they are at the women's level, that's kind of the NBA comp we would go with. But we can move on to the third pick. I don't know if we have the same here. It looks like they locked
Oh,
it, so I'm just gonna go
I
over to
honestly
DK
have
and
I
see if
have
they.
Dominique as a third pick. So, but we already
Oh,
kind of talked about her.
okay.
Not to mention she had a silver medal at the 2024 Paris Olympics. And like you said, she was the first French woman to dunk in a game. She's also dunked out a game too. So it'll be very, very interesting to see that in the WNBA. Granted that I think just Brittany Griner is the only one that's doing that right now.
Yeah, she can't. She's kind of getting old. I don't even know if she has that other bag anymore.
Nah, she has no vert. Honestly, that 464-pound D tackle from Florida probably has a better vertical than her, if we're being honest. But you could go ahead and get into your third pick.
Yeah, for sure. All the books took the odds off since it's past 7:30, so I just opted to go to the ESPN tracker. The draft should be starting pretty soon, so we can, if that it probably won't start for a little bit, but we can get through this. Number 3 for me is Sonia Citron from Notre Dame. Her odds have been fluctuating all over the place in terms of where she's supposed to go. It's very likely third or fourth. We'll see where I think she'll go third, but the Mystics have the third and the fourth pick, like you can see on the screen. So you really don't. It could go like I wouldn't bet it just because you don't know if they have back-to-back picks. It could go either way, so you never know. But with her, she's a guard, kind of 3 and D, averaged 14, 5 and 3. Her splits were 48, 37, and 89. So she's a very efficient shooter. My NBA player comp was Derek White.
Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of that, she was also the ACC Rookie of the Year in 2022, ACC All Defensive Team this past year in 2025, and also All ACC First Team. So, with all that being said, I would say my player comp for her would be Drew Holiday.
I like that.
My,
Same
my
team, same vibe.
my Pelicans legend. So I like to see the defense that hopefully she can bring to the Mystics. And I think with these 3 top 6 picks, it could probably change that organization around. Honestly,
100%.
They have a very young squad, and I think that these 3 pieces, if they make the right choice, it'll be a very, very huge step in the right direction.
100%. And we got the 4th pick. Let's see, we got the Mystics again.
So for my 4th pick, I think that they'll go with Cheyenne Sellers. Those of you who know college football, that's Lenore Sellers' sister, daughter of Brad Sellers, the guard for the Bulls. She's a 3-time first team All Big Ten, all Big Ten defensive team, and I would say my player comp for her is Chris Paul.
I got close to that.
Yeah,
I have her at my 6, but let me see. I know I had a guard like that. I have her going 6 in the Mystics, so it's the same team. Oh, you know who mine was? Peyton Pritchard.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I mean, dude, if Peyton Pritchard was on most other teams, he'd probably be starting.
100%.
So
he's a starter on 20 of 30 NBA teams.
Yeah, so if Peyton, was getting full minutes, I think we see a lot more of him, but we still see a decent amount. He'll be 6-man for sure. And it looks like we got the draft starting. The commish is coming up to the Kathy.
Coming up to the stand.
Yeah, it looks like they'll probably start the clock. But we can keep moving.
Yeah, we know.
Wanted to let you guys know that it's about to start.
They shouldn't fumble this.
Well, what do we have next? So it's
The
we're
fifth
still on pick 4. So I had Kiki going here. Rolo already talked about her plenty. My player comp is actually interesting. Chino Hill's legend, Onyeka Okongwu.
Wow.
I went with all current players because I wanted to keep it simple. But I think, Okongwu inside has a midi. Can't really shoot the 3 too well, but, still is perfecting craft. Young, big man / woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Onyeka as her player comp, and I have her going at 4.
That's actually not a bad player comp. I didn't think about Onyeka, but now since you said it, it definitely makes sense. I like that as well. 5th pick, we have a new team in the league now, fellas. So the Golden State Valkyries, with the 5th pick, first pick in the draft. I think they're gonna go with the hometown legend, Anisha Morrow from LSU. She's she had a single season rebounding record over at DePaul before she came to LSU with 457 rebounds, averaging about 13.8 a game. Big East Freshman of the Year, and she also had over 100 career double-doubles. Now only 2 women have done that.
She is a beast on the glass.
Yeah, so I would say with somebody like her, she plays with a lot of fundamentals. I'm gonna go with Tim Duncan. I think she can have a really, really, really high ceiling, especially with this Valkyries team.
Timmy D.
Yeah, Mr. Fundamental, definitely.
Okay. For me, I was thinking just straight buckets and boards.
Yeah.
Streaky shot, isn't too consistent. I believe she shot. Yeah, it doesn't really have a 3-ball shot, 29%. For me, I went with it. I kind of put a twist on this. I picked Domantas Sabonis if he didn't pass.
If he didn't pass the ball.
Because Anissa Morrow doesn't really, she has like 1 assist a game. She's like Michael Porter Jr. The possession ends when you get to her.
The possession ends here.
So I had a few other people I was leaning, but I really do think she's pretty similar to Sabonis. Just a double-double machine. She's going to have a double-double almost every game. It does scare me, the fact that she's a little undersized for the league. Mm-hmm. We see a lot of bigs and women's kind of struggle to translate when you're going up against Brittany Griners and Brianna Jones and Asia Wilsons. So I'm curious to see how she'll do. I don't think you can pass up on her here at 5. And I got Sabonis with that doesn't pass. So we'll see how it goes. But can move on to number 6.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I got Sonya. So we already kind of talked about her,
Okay.
Point guard from Notre Dame.
Who's your comp? You said Drew, right?
Yeah. For her, I got Drew Holiday.
Okay. And for me, I have Sellers at 6. Going to
What's
the
up,
Mystics.
Guru?
Oh, we already talked about my comp for her.
Sellers, yeah.
Yeah, I said Peyton Pritchard, so we can keep moving to number 7.
Okay.
What
Damn,
you
they
got?
still didn't make the first pick yet? That's crazy.
They're about to right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Paige Becker's minus 20,000.
Let's go.
Two-tailed. Dub Club
Cash
exclusive.
Cash.
Yep, it just updated. You can see it. They're pretty quick. That was like a 3-second delay.
That's actually crazy.
Yep, Paige minus 20,000. Cha-ching. But we got the Connecticut Sun at 7.
Connecticut Sun at 7. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Slovenia legend. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it uh Asja Sivka? Not
Yep.
sure.
Yep. I know who you're talking about. Okay.
So she's a forward coming from Slovenia. She was coached actually under Luca's father. Um, she was the 2023 FIBA Under 18 team gold medalist, also the championship MVP that same year as well. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I think with my player comp for her is Sasha Vujacic. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
I kind of
dude,
like
Lakers legend.
I like her. I like her play style, bro, and it reminds me a lot of that guy, especially when he was playing for the Lakers. I think that she'll be a great asset to the Sun, especially with them losing so many different players and playmakers that
Okay.
they give to the wings. So I think she will be a good fit for the rebuild that they have going on.
Okay. So for me, I have her going a little later in the first round. Here,
Mm-hmm.
I have Sanaya Rivers from NC State. I think the Suns team right now, their roster is so just like lost. That's the easiest way to say it.
Yeah,
They
there's no
their
identity at all there.
their
They don't
entire
know if they're
starting
going
five
left or
left.
right, up or down. They don't know if they're coming or going. I don't know what's going on in Connecticut, honestly. I think they're probably the Washington
Their team's
Wizards
in
of the
shambles.
WNBA.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But I have them taking Sanaya Rivers. I think they're in a position. Their entire starting five, like you go into Mohegan Sun, and I live relatively near there. You go in and you see like a banner of all the starting five. They're all off the team,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have to hire a pretty good painter to fix that. I have Sanaya Rivers, NC State. She's more of like an athletic build. She's averaging 12, 7, and 4 on 42, 27, 67 split. So she can't really shoot, more of a slasher. Athletic, big, gets to, or like shooting guard, small forward. She can kind of play whatever position they need her to.
Yeah.
My NBA player comp for her, it was Bilal Coulibaly.
Okay. You saw he just hit that. No, that wasn't Ballard. That was Bub Carrington that hit that game winner the other day. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, Guru. Rolo A. Smith. I was looking more of a Rolo Sharp.
Yeah, you don't want to don't avoid IG Live with that suit on.
But hold on, let me fix it. All right. So
On to pick 8.
on to pick 8. Jesus.
Connecticut Sun
It's gonna be a
again.
long draft, huh? Okay, the Sun have back-to-back picks.
Yep.
That's something that's looking very common in the first round, honestly. I got them.
There's 3 instances.
Yeah, I got them taking Just Jock, the guard from Lithuania. She was the youngest to debut in the EuroLeague. She was, I think, 14 years and 9 months old. She's the most talented Lithuanian prospect going into the draft right now. And she was the MVP of the Under 18 FIBA championship. I believe that was in 2023. So my player comp for her is gonna be Goran Dragic. I really love I love the play style that she has. She's very selfless. I would say she's a very selfless player. She's gonna always look for the open teammate. She would also take the tough layup, the tough floater, but she's gonna look to kick it out to the teammate first. She's a pass first type of player.
Okay.
That's why I gave her that comp.
So you got both foreigners going to the Sun.
Yeah, man. I think that's the. I mean, if I was a GM, honestly, I think Euros are running the league, and as far as basketball is concerned. So that's a good way to start as far as rebuilding, because those are people that they don't have egos. They don't want they don't care about the bright lights and all that. They just come to work, do their job, go home.
Get buckets.
That's all you need.
Okay.
So
Something I've been noticing in the WNBA is some of the foreigners are like a draft and stash, and sometimes it takes them like a year to come over to the W. And the Sun last year actually just drafted, I think, Layla Lacan,
yeah,
and she didn't play last year, but I think she's going to play this year. So I'm not sure. I don't have any foreigners going to the Sun just because they picked one last year, but I could totally see it. I mean, they're just in a rebuilding stage. They need to add whatever. Appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate you, Ron. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get all the ball knowers up in here. I know there's a couple of guys that are curious about the WNBA. Some guys that are going to be sick and tired of betting baseball.
The baseball cake, man.
July, and they're going to be wondering what's next. What could I bet on? What could I do? Or if you come down to Rambo, you got Rolo in DC talking to you about WNBA.
Yes, sir. The pick is in for the – hold on. The pick is in. But I have Georgia Amore from Kentucky going to the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
She is very undersized. She's like 5'6" that's very small for WNBA. But last year she averaged on Kentucky, she averaged 22 and 7 assists. Her splits 42, 34, 84. So very
She's
efficient.
A fucking dog.
Probably one of the best facilitators in the draft. The Sun just traded Natasha Cloud to the Liberty, so that they're really missing that point guard that they need. I don't think anyone on the current team is like a real just distributor. I think Amore would be a great add here. My player comp for her, Fred VanVleet.
Wow. Okay.
Undersized guard with a strap.
Yep.
And sometimes Fred gets selfish, and so does Georgia. Just depending on the situation. But usually on an average night, they're swinging the rock. So I have her going to the Sun, and then I think the pick is in. So let's wait and see what happens here. Because I got chat, I'm not gonna lie.
We got 3 units on this chat. Let's see. Hold up.
Chat, I said I had 3 units on this. I have 4.
It's actually 4 units.
I never post anything over 3 units, but I got 4 units. So if I cash my Blazers 3U ticket and then the same night we get Malonga, that would be awesome start to the season. But it looks like they're okay. The pick's in, but she's not going up, so we can continue here if you want.
Well, I actually had
pick 9, the Sparks.
Yeah, I had Georgia going to the Sparks, honestly.
Okay.
I honestly would say I'm not going to say she's a better fit for the Sparks because I could totally see her on the Sun, but I think that the Sparks need a facilitator that can kind of learn from Kelsey Plum over there, and I think they'll use Georgia like for the future if they want to think long term, honestly. And other than besides the stats that you were saying, so some of her accolades, she was first team All SEC, ESPN's Transfer of the Year, and an MVP of the ACC tournament. So my NBA player comp for her is Royal, if you're still in here, Jalen Brunson, undersized guard that can also facilitate the shit out of the ball. So I really think that I think she would be a great fit for the Sparks because we all know Kelsey probably got about maybe 5 more years left in her. And it's going to be time for her to kind of take the back seat. And what other person to learn from for Georgia than Kelsey? She's a 2 or 3-time NBA champion. I mean, WNBA champion.
Who?
It's Kelsey Plum. I think she won twice.
I think 2.
Two. Yeah,
Sounds
two-time
right.
WNBA
Well, so we're not historians here. We've just tapped in recently. So if you're asking about, Lisa Leslie and Dawn Staley and people like, we might not know it too much. But yeah, where the fuck's Royal, man? Brunson
Yeah,
Glaze and he's just
he
missing
was
out on it.
waiting. He was waiting for me to glaze Brunson. I bring the opportunity to him, and he's absent. What's the issue?
I don't know,
I don't
man.
get it.
Hold on. She's coming out. Come on, Kathy. Come on, Kathy.
What is she gonna say?
Pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Dominique Alunga.
Bang! Holy shit,
Come on.
bro! That was
Let's
crazy. You posted that shit when? Like 2 weeks ago or a week
Wednesday.
ago?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. Look, if you guys don't have his noties on by now,
That's a preview for the season, boys. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't toss out 3U max plays often.
I don't know who else is 1-0 right now on the WNBA, but good start to the season though, bro. Good start to the season. Let's
What
keep it
great
up.
cash.
What
I mean,
is
that was
up?
probably the most CLV I've ever gotten on a play in my life.
And it
Going
should
from
have
minus 200 to minus 4,000. I mean, that's insane. In like a week. That shit was crazy.
So where we at? We have the 10th pick.
I have to talk about my pick for the Sparks.
Okay, who do you have for the Sparks?
So for the Sparks, I have someone who's been under the radar. I have Sarah Ashley Barker from Bama.
Oh, okay.
So, I was doing my due diligence, watching film, watching a few other mocks just to see where other people's heads were at.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who it was, but someone brought up Sarah Ashley Barker. And she just dropped 40 on Maryland in the tournament.
Jesus, yeah, I was watching that game. Both teams were kind of lights out though. I watched that game in the tournament. They just couldn't stop scoring. Literally, they had the magnet ball. Both teams, not gonna
100%.
lie.
So for her, I think her stock went up a lot with that 40 ball just balling out in the tournament. She's a pretty, I think she's like a 6'1", 6'2" guard, if I'm not mistaken. She's pretty tall. She averaged 18, 6, and 4. Her shooting splits 51, 38, 71. So 38% from three is pretty damn good. I think outside of Kelsey Plum, there's not many shooters on the Sparks that I trust. They can shoot, but they're not specialized in shooting.
No, not at all.
So I think adding some more people who can shoot the rock is something I want to do here. NBA player comp, I went with Desmond Bain. Yeah, that was one of the ones I was like,
D-Rex.
Yeah, but you got the tiny ass arms.
Hopefully her arms.
I don't think she has. Think she has the Desmond Bain arms, but in terms of play style, able to shoot the three, can still get to the rack when she needs to. Kind of, honestly, not as utilized as she could be. I think she could have been averaging 20 plus a game if she got the rock more, but selfless player. Bain was cooking with all the Grizzlies injuries the past few years. So
yeah,
I have him.
Those who bet on the NBA, we know well about Desmond Bain without Ja Morant. So
yeah, Desmond Bain. That's what they call.
You know what type of player he turns into.
100%.
You want to drop your Twitter for the chat, so those that can follow you throughout the summer when it comes to
100%.
WNBA.
It's just.
There we go.
Just DC_bets_.
Everybody go ahead and give him a follow, man. It's a sharp mind going into the season. If you want to trust anybody with your currency, it would probably be DC, then me, of course. Definitely not me first. I would say that DC is a little bit more knowledgeable about the sport than I am, but we're growing every day, though.
Only gonna get better.
So for the 10th pick,
Who we got here? The
so
Sky.
we have
The
the
Sky. So
Sky.
the Sky just
Excellent.
traded for the 11th pick yesterday. They traded. Who was it? I think they
They traded
traded the
with the Lynx.
2026 first,
Yes.
or like a
traded-
pick swap, something like that, for this
Yeah,
pick.
they traded
So
back
yesterday
to
the
the
Lynx
Lynx.
had the 11th, but now the Sky have it. So they got back to. There's so many back-to-back picks in this draft. I can't remember the last time any draft of any kind had this many back-to-back picks in the top 12.
Now this is actually crazy. But that just shows that the Sky, they're kind of in a win now mode. They know they see what they have, like the
Yep.
prospects as far as that goes, and who they need to grab ASAP before they're gone off the board. So
Who you got?
for the 10th pick, I think that the Sky, because I believe that they need a forward.
Okay.
So I went with Janiyah Barker
From
from
UCLA.
UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah, I went with the forward. So she was Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year, having 2 gold medals in the under 16 and under 18 teams.
Yeah.
And with the way that she's able to shoot off the dribble, post up, she could score at 3 different levels, honestly. So I would give my player comp as Kevin Durant. Not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
KD.
KD, yes.
I-
I believe
okay.
that. I believe
Oh,
that she.
hold on. The third pick is in.
Uh-oh. Let's see who the Mystics are taking.
Sonia Citron, Notre Dame.
Wow.
3 for 3 on the mock.
Sonia Citron. Okay.
With the mock is 3 for 3, boys. If you tapped into the
Ooh.
Twitter, she closed around minus 200 to go third, but
Mhm.
I saw her as low as minus 140. So if you shopped a little during the day, you probably could have got minus 140. I didn't bet this just because I had no idea which order the Mystics were going to pick between Citron and Iriafen, who I have projected. So it's kind of, you don't want to lay minus 140 when you don't even know. Like, they could easily just swap them, you know?
Right.
But I think this is a great fit. 3-and-D guard. You can't go wrong. We talked about her already, but the Mystics they have nothing. They have Aaliyah Edwards. They have Brittany Sykes.
They did.
Steph Golston, Shakira Austin coming off an injury. I mean, they really don't have anything to work with in terms of depth. You have like 3 or 4 solid players, but you don't have a superstar and you don't have depth. And someone they were really lacking was the point guard. So I don't think she's going to play point, but I think they're going to get one later in Sellers, I would guess. But
I think the next pick should be Sellers. Or maybe
I think they go Kiki, but we'll see.
I think they might go Kiki actually, because I wouldn't wait and see if the Valkyries take Kiki.
I think the Valkyries take Kiki if she's there at 5, but we'll see. What were we talking about? The Sky's first pick.
Yeah, the Sky's first pick. So me personally, I went with Janiyah Barker.
Okay.
Who do you have for the first pick?
TCU, LSU, Louisville, legend, Haley Van Lith.
All right. We're gonna pair her up with
Angel Reese, just like the good old days.
Reese. All right.
So,
I kind of can see that little narrative play right there.
I was debating between her and Tahina Pau for this pick from South Carolina. I think Pau just had a down year, wasn't outstanding. Like, she was good, but she wasn't like great. And Haley Van Lith, her stock was low at LSU. The Mulkey system was awful for her. I mean, talk about worst imaginable fit.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw her in the tournament. Caitlin Clark fried her ass. I mean, what'd she have, 30, 40? So
she made her change teams.
She made her transfer out of the conference. Like, that's when you know.
They're so bad that she had to reevaluate life. Think about it. She changed conference and then found Jalen Suggs. So I believe life is on the up for her
Haley
right
Van
now.
Lith should be a first-round pick, and Jalen Suggs hopefully takes some of that bonus money and goes to Turkey to fix his hairline. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, everyone knows Haley Van Lith. I think she is one of the more popular players across just everywhere.
Yeah.
Average
She, as far as
18.5.
like, I think that's Chewy's favorite player. No surprise
Of
there,
course it
but
is. It's a blonde.
he
Chewy, man.
he
That guy
loves
kills
Haley
me.
Van Lith. Can't hit a bet on her.
Well, hold
Taking
on.
her PRA every game.
Mystics pick is in.
Okay.
It's
gonna be Kiki. I feel it.
Sellers.
Washington Mystics select Okikiola Iriathan.
Kiki. Yeah.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
4 for 4. No Wendy's.
Oh my goodness.
I wish dude, if I lived in a state or like was near a state that I could just bet all of these. Oh,
You can't parlay it though. That's what sucks.
You can't parlay it, but I would take them straight.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Kiki was plus like 165 or 75 to go here at 4. And I wanted to tap, but DK had the lines down all game. Mystics, I could see Georgia at 6.
I'm not gonna lie. It's either Sellers or Georgia. They're probably
It's a point guard going in. They just got like a 2-3. They got a 4. They already have Shakira Austin. They already have Leah Edwards and Stephanie Dolson. They're good at bigs now. With Kiki on the team, they have to get an actual true point guard to facilitate. So it's Georgia or it's who do I have? Sellers in my eyes. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right.
And then so with Van Lith, averaged 18, 5 and 5, splits 45, 34, 83. So pretty solid shooter. Player comp, I went with Jamal Murray.
Oh, okay.
For Haley Van Lith.
Okay.
I think
all right. That's not a bad
not
comp.
the fastest, but still can like create their own shot. Like some of these players are like quick. Like Haley Van Lith isn't like honestly, I don't think she's that quick. I think she takes her time. She's very patient in finding her shot, whether it's off a pick and roll or coming off a screen, anything like that. Yeah, and I think Jamal Murray is kind of the same way. So
it's between her and Georgia for the shortest player entering the draft. So
yeah, we love our short queens. Just got to make
with a height disadvantage like that. I think she has to abuse that pick and roll.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing the Atlanta Dream and you switch Ryan Howard or Alicia Gray onto Haley Van Lith, she's going to be barbecue chicken. So she might honestly not go in the first round, but honestly, we've seen it a lot. I mean, she's not Caitlin Clark, but look at the media that like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cam Brink bring teams. I think Haley Van Lith has one of the biggest pulls in the WNBA rookie class. So I wouldn't be surprised if a team took her a little earlier than they should, just because of the name. So
yeah, just to boost ticket sales, of course.
I could see her going to LA at 9, honestly, but who knows? We'll see. Get reunited with her 3-on-3 teammate Cam Brink.
Yeah, that could be true too. Now that would be a pick and roll I would love to see.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you have Kelsey Plum, Rakia Jackson, Hamby. That would be nice. Okay. And then we got the 11th. Who do you have here?
For the 11th, I have Tahina. I'm not gonna lie, from South Carolina. Yeah, I got her going 11th. I think they need a guard.
Yeah, they do.
Like some
they need like
over there in Chicago. So somebody that has won the national championship. She's done it on the biggest stage before. Second team All-American that same year also. I believe that she's also a 2-time All Pac-12 team award winner. So my player count for her is Devin Booker. From looking at the way that she plays, I consider her a sharp shooter, and if she has that green light and she's on, they're just gonna feed her the ball. Just constantly just give it to her. So I could definitely see a lot of that, kind of like a Trinity Carter.
I meant to mention that. Do you know that she probably won't play this upcoming season?
Really?
She's having
Why is
disciplinary
that?
issues.
Oh
They're
fuck.
saying she's acting out,
Bro,
and
she's such a she reminds that's literally Chad. Kennedy Carter for the Chicago Sky is literally Ja Morant for the
yeah,
Grizzlies. She's
if I
such
see
a
Kennedy
great
Carter with a
player.
Glock on IG, I will laugh my eyes out.
She's such a
Thin ice
great
beaming,
player, bro.
thin ice.
Bro, that's his team is the Suns. So let's
Okay, I have
shout out to Mike Budenholzer, by the way.
percent got canned.
But but 23 fired coaches in 23 months. I mean 3 fired head coaches in 23 months. So
People forget,
let's move
and they
on
got
from
Bradley
that.
Beal and a no trade clause. That's sharp.
I still got my no trade clause.
All that money they're paying him just to sit here.
Oh man.
Let's see what we got. Haley Van Lith going here or Washington. We just talked about her. I don't have her going till pick I think what?
We got
10?
her late in the draft.
I got her at 10.
Yeah, we got her late in the draft.
Every mock I've seen has her late first, early second. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, every mock I've seen mostly was early second.
Like I'm higher
Not
on
even
Van
late
Lith
first.
than the average like person, it seems like. But
Oh, come on, man.
come on, we can't have some
I'm
fun.
just
Huh?
stating
Rolo's a
the
Pelicans
facts.
fan.
That's
We don't
all.
even have to. He fired his
If
fucking.
we're talking about funeral services, we fired. I feel like we fired one of the two people that needed to be fired, but that's a different talk for a different day.
Progress.
Fuck Willie Green.
What up, Vinny? We don't.
What up, Vinny? What up, Vinny?
What were
So,
my 11th pick?
Who we got at the 11th pick? Yes, sir.
I have someone you mentioned a while ago. I have Sivka from France.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Since they have back-to-back, I tried to give them a guard on the forward. I think their center, they have Cardoso, they have Angel Reese, who can play the 5. They have Liz Williams, who got hurt at the beginning of last year, and she'll be back.
Yeah.
So I think they don't need a big, and they don't need a guard after taking Van Lith. So I think they're just going to do – it might be a draft and stash. Who knows? Oh, we got the Valkyries pick.
Your pick is in.
Pick is in, chat.
Let's hear it.
Fifth pick in the 2025 WNBA draft.
Tomorrow. It's got to be.
Golden State Valkyries select Juste Jochite from Lithuania.
Wow. Holy shit.
Here's a South.
What?
Wow. See, now I knew that there was going to be some surprise.
She fucked
in
up
this
my
draft.
mock.
I knew there was going to be a surprise in this draft.
I
saw Anisha Morrow at plus 100, even money for 5.
I know, dude.
I knew that was too good to be true.
Yeah, it's true. Dude, I just don't understand with most of these overseas players, besides like Malonga said she's playing this year. Like that's 100% happening. She, who I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the pick you can see on the screen at the 5. We don't know if she's coming over this year. You're a expansion team. Your team is full of role players. You have a top 5 pick in the draft, and you pick someone who might not even play here this year. Like, I get she's good, and maybe it's a long-term look, but I'm honestly pretty surprised they went that route. I mean, I was lower on her than other people for sure, and maybe I'll just be proven wrong, but that pick surprises me. That's the first time I've been surprised by a pick.
At this point. That's the only thing we can hope for at this point. I'm honestly hoping that they're not this unserious of an organization already.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, we'll see. You know, this reminds me of when Luka got drafted, and everyone's like, what the fuck are they taking that guy for? And then he turned out to be one of the best in the league. So maybe she'll be good. But it's more surprising than a bad pick. It's not a bad pick. It's just surprising because we don't even know if she's going to play this year. Barker from Bama, yes. I have her in mine. Rolo doesn't have her in his. I have her going 9 to the Sparks.
That's actually a good spot. I'm not going to lie.
They have a lot of short guards, and they have a lot of bigs. They don't really have, like, outside of Rickea Jackson, they don't have a lot of, like, small forwards. shooting guards like that are tall. Like she's like 6'1", 6'2". So I think that would be a decent spot for her. But what we got? That was pick 11. We got the last pick of the first round, and then we can
Okay.
just chill.
So last pick, I got Van Lith. Going
Okay.
to the
Paige and
Lynx.
Van Lith.
No,
On the
not the
same
Lynx.
team?
The Wings. Yeah, I think Van Lith. That'll be a good backcourt for that team. Honestly,
Oh,
not to
Mystics
mention the
pick.
3 teams.
1 second.
Select Georgia A. Moore.
Georgia Amore to the Mystics.
Wow, that was sharp. Who said that?
Yeah.
Milkman. That was sharp, brother.
Let's go,
That was
Milkman.
sharp.
Good call. I thought she was going a little later, but they
Yeah.
do. We were just talking about it. We said they need someone who can distribute the ball. It is either Sellers or it's Amore. If you take anyone else, you're making a mistake. So it was one or the other. They took one. It's a good call. I thought Sellers just because she was more efficient,
Yeah, I honestly thought that they would
and
take.
Amore is kind of on the shorter side, but
I guess. I mean, I can't honestly be mad at that pick.
no, it's a good pick. I
They
can't.
got the 2 guards that they needed. I didn't think that they would go George. I thought they would have went Sellers, but it's
No, you
it's
can't.
I'm not
Can't be mad.
upset about it.
Can't be mad.
Honestly. So for you mentioned the 3 teams that Van Lith was on, but she also made 3 Elite 8 appearances with those 3 teams. So every team she's been on, she's been successful with.
Yeah.
She's shown that she can win anywhere that she goes. So my player comp for her is Kyrie Irving. With her playmaking and her shot making ability, I would give that to Kyrie. I see Kyrie in her all day. Honestly.
I don't hate that. I think the way she creates space is similar to Kyrie. I just don't know if she's snatching like that.
Yeah,
Like in
I
terms of
don't. I wouldn't
Kyrie,
say.
I think
wouldn't say that
her space creation is pretty like good. But Kyrie, I mean, that guy has the ball on a fucking string. Like
Literally.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Kyrie literally he has thousands and thousands of dribble moves. I don't think that
Yeah.
she'll ever get to that point.
The
But
deepest bag in the history of basketball.
But she definitely has a bag that's kind of
Yeah, no, she's great.
to him.
And then the last pick from the first, we're only doing the first round for the mock that we put together from each of us. So the Wings, they already got Paige Beckers, we saw. They have Ty Harris, they have Dejanay, they have Enrique, they have Maddie Seegers, they have Nalissa Smith, they have a lot of wings. You know what they need? A backup center.
Mm-hmm.
They have Tierra McCowan. Tierra McCowan they call her the female Shaq, but she's like if Shaq had Zion's work ethic. Like she's huge, can get boards, can get buckets when she wants to, but sometimes she just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I wish she would, put more into her game, but she is like a 25 minutes per game player. She doesn't have the cardio to keep up with, some of the better bigs in the league. So they really need someone to step in at backup center. Kalani Brown, who was on the team last year, she is gone. And they have Stephanie Soares out of the league. They have no one backup center. So I picked, who was it? Sanaya Fagan from South Carolina. I think this is a potential pick. You're at the end of the first. You don't really know what you're getting. So you might as well shoot for the stars. What did you say?
I say you think this could be a sleeper?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at her college averages, she averaged 8, 4, and 1. So it's not like she's playing that much, but she's on South Carolina, so you can kind of make an exception. But I mean, she shot 60% from the field, 33 from 3 for a big, which isn't bad, and 80% from the line. So she put up pretty decent stats this year. My NBA player comp was like Isaiah Stewart in terms of like the numbers she's putting up. Mm-hmm. I honestly haven't watched too much of her game, but she's a similar sized Isaiah Stewart, kind of like a undersized big, but can still like get buckets, get boards, So I have the Wings need a big, and the only other option is she who shall not be named, Sedona Prince. So we are leaving her out of the first round. I respect woman, so I'm not going to have Sedona Prince anywhere near my first round.
Okay. All right. All right. You want to talk about
Oh,
some
one
of
sec.
the
Sun pick.
Sun pick is in?
WNBA draft. The Connecticut Sun select Anissa Morrow, Louisiana State.
Wow.
She fell to 7. That's crazy.
Jesus.
That's a good pick. They have Tina Charles, and Nelson Adada, but they really don't have any other bigs outside of those two. So just getting someone who can just grab boards, you can't go wrong there. Now with the next pick, you have to go guard. You have to take Sellers here, Lenoris' sister.
Yeah.
She has to go.
Yeah,
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Guard.
If she goes down to 9, I mean that's crazy.
With the bigs that they have, I think Morrow should really play the 3 because of how undersized she is.
Yeah, I mean the problem is she can't shoot. So if she works for the next, you know what's crazy is the WNBA for a college player, you get drafted on April what is it today, the 14th? You know when the season starts?
May 6th?
Like a month.
Yeah.
Like that's your whole off season. Like you go straight from March Madness and you go to get drafted the next week, and then you go immediately to training camp, and you have to make sure you get on the roster. There's only 13 teams now, so you don't even guarantee a roster spot. But it's just so crazy to me the small amount of time you go from playing in college to just going to the league. It blows my mind.
Yeah, they always say that the first off season, that's in most leagues, honestly, if not every league. As soon as you get drafted, everything is
boom. Yeah, you got to get an apartment. You have to, or a house. You got to switch your car there. Looking trim.
Let's go. Had to. It's a special day in the WNBA. But
I'm taking this
man.
I'm heating up.
It's a rough process. So I think like in the second year, most players, that's when we'll really see the jump and the potential that they can show us, honestly. Because they have a little bit more of an off season, they can relax and kind of catch up with everything. But we're probably gonna get into some of these futures that we got moving forward. There was a few that I was looking at as far as like, of course, coach of the year. I'm going with the Fever's coach. I think her name is Stephanie
White.
Stephanie White. So most apps, I believe she's probably like
plus 150. I just checked it out.
Yeah, plus 150, plus 130, depending on where you look. I don't care. I think that's a lock, honestly, that you would say. That team is gonna make probably one of the biggest jumps, in my opinion, in the league, especially just off of the fact that you got the actual guard, Sophie Cunningham, with
Sun pick. 1 second.
Sun pick is in.
Yep.
Don't fuck this up, please.
Select Sanaya Rivers from NC State.
Wow.
So they went just dogs. I mean, Anissa Morrow, dog. Sanaya Rivers, dog. They're just getting the grit squad. I mean, like those are two of the most hard-nosed players like in college basketball, and they just added them both to their team. This team is going to be gritty.
What's her name? Does she still play for Alyssa Thomas? Does she still play?
No, she's in Phoenix. Everyone's gone.
Oh, bro. Okay.
Mama Broad.
So
happy to see you.
Happy to see you. Appreciate you for stopping by.
Thanks for coming.
Bye. Yeah, I think that's kind of the route that they were trying to go. They wanted to get that grit back because that's what they had with what's her name? She was the guard with Alyssa Thomas. I forgot her name. I
Which
think
one?
it's Dominique.
Dewana
Or it's
Bonner?
not Dominique. No, Dewana Bonner is also one of them. But
Dejanay
she was a
Carrington.
Dejanay
Yeah, she's on
Carrington.
Dallas now.
You had Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Thomas and
Yeah,
Dewana Bonner. That was three hard-nosed
Flames.
players that you just needed to have, and that's what kept them in a lot of games. So maybe they're trying to find that again with these two picks right here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're just going for defense, honestly. I mean, Rivers is like a very good athlete. Morrow, just straight buckets and boards, can guard too.
Mhm.
So it seems like I thought they were going to go for some shooters, I'm not going to lie. Or an actual point guard. That kind of, I think they should have got Sellers or another point
I
guard.
can't wait to see
Like
who's going to get
Pow.
Sellers.
Dude, she's
I'm
falling.
excited
This
for
is
this
crazy.
pick. I'm
But,
curious to see what the Sparks are gonna do, honestly.
Yeah.
But what you had any futures locked in for the
Oh yeah.
for the
So
season yet?
we were talking about Coach of the Year. That was the first bet I saw that I was like, I want action on that. That was Stephanie White, Coach of the Year.
100%.
I saw it at plus 170. It's like plus 155 on DK. I almost bet it today, but I did. I don't know if there's enough value.
Mm-hmm.
I do think she's gonna win, but we'll see how that goes. That's if we're talking awards. That's one that I like. I just locked in Sabrina Ionescu under assists today. Actually,
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
we're on it. I'll pull this up and then go back. So are you seeing the Liberty roster? Like, can you see
yeah, I can see it.
It's on the okay, so it's keeping up. Cool. So I went to the casino. I was looking at every WNBA future that was there. Go to stats.
6.5 looks like it's kind of high.
It's too high. Look at her assists. First year only played 3 games, doesn't matter.
Right.
This year, 6.1, 6.3, 5.4 when Vandersloot was on the team, and 6.2 with Vandersloot when she wasn't even getting that many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to the Liberty and we go to the past few years, so last year Vandersloot didn't play that much. She only played 22 minutes a game, which is pretty low for someone of her caliber. I think she's just getting old. She only averaged 4.8 assists, and she's supposed to be the starting point guard. I mean, I think, like, if we go to the year before,
I think she's on a decline.
Look at this. The year before, she averaged 8.1, and Sabrina only averaged 5.4. Like, and that's way under. I mean, and then the year before that, she was the point guard. Like, look at, she's got 6.3, played 32 minutes a game, and was
the primary point guard.
She is the starting point guard for this team, and she only averaged 6.3. And this season, she averaged 6.1. Once again, Hamilton is like a 3. She was the only point guard on the team, and she averaged 6.1. Like, Sammy Whitcomb is not she's a shooting guard. All these other players are bigs, and they don't do anything. Like, what she has had, like, the point guard role. Let me go back to the draft board.
So we got so it's actually, you think she's gonna take a back seat with Natasha Cloud now?
Yes, 100%.
Kind of similar to when she had to take a back seat with Vandersloot. So what do you think about Natasha Cloud over?
I actually have her to lead the league in assists.
Wow.
I don't think it's hitting, but I took it at plus 2,500. If I can, I'm going to cash out and take plus 3,500 on FanDuel because there's better odds. I took it on Bet Online. but FanDuel made the odds like worse for her. Well, good for me, bad for her. But I mean, you have Natasha Cloud last year played on the Mercury. You have Diana Taurasi, washed, Clea Copper, bucket, Brittany Griner. All right. Now, and she averaged, what was it? Probably around 7 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you have as a starting point guard in the Liberty, coming off a WNBA Finals championship. She can pass to Brianna Stewart. She can pass to Jonquil Jones. She can pass to Ionescu. I mean, those are just so like such more better. That didn't make sense, but better options than what she had in Phoenix. Phoenix is also like it seems like way more ISO. There are a lot of selfish players like Taurasi, known selfish player.
Too many egos over there in Phoenix.
Griner, known selfish player. Copper, just dog. I mean, she averaged 20 a game, but a lot of her shots are created on her own. Right. So it's like, but I think this team, like the coaching is a lot more made like to play team ball. So it's plus 2,500. I only put 0.25 units on it to win. I forget exactly what it was, but a decent amount. So I sprinkled that. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to break the bank on it, but I did that immediately after she got traded to New York. So it was kind of like a FOMO if the odds move and I don't get in on it. But I think I'm going to rock with it. It's only 0.25, so I'm not stressing. But I definitely think that's something I wanted to sprinkle a little bit.
So one award that I was looking at specifically was most improved player.
Okay. This is a tough market.
Yeah. And I honestly believe, just like you said earlier, the Valkyries, they have a team full of known role players, right? Yeah. So I'm going to try to take a stab at which role player is going to have that jump this year. One girl you talked to me about, Timmy Benelli. I think what is she? I'm seeing 35-1.
That's worth a sprinkle.
I'm thinking that her and possibly Kate Martin. I mean, she's 15-1, but I just can't see anybody else on that team, honestly, that could possibly, with the minutes that they're gonna have, I'm assuming all of them will be probably starters, both of them, and they'll get about 25 minutes per game. So
yeah,
I think with the value that we can possibly have, and nobody really knows about this Valkyries team.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll have a good shot at this come mid-season. Looking back at these odds,
I think there's a pretty high chance that the most improved player does come from the Valkyries, just because on every other team, we got the pick for the Sparks. I'll explain that this after.
It's about time. It took a little minute.
It took mad long. We were talking for a minute.
With the 9th pick,
okay, Sellers, come on. What are we doing?
The Los Angeles Sparks select Sarah Ashley Barker.
Oh, I got it right.
Oh, good.
Oh. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie, that might be a better pick than Sellers.
I mean,
I
don't
know where Sellers is going now.
It's just it's perfect fit. Like
she might.
Dude, you know what sucks is
be in the first round anymore.
They only had the odds for top 5. If they had odds for like top 12, dude, I would have sprayed.
Right.
I would have driven to Massachusetts and just bet the whole board. I'm dead serious.
That's actually crazy that they only had 1 through 5. But
dude,
maybe they did that for a reason, because they didn't want to
at least
expose themselves.
Yeah. I think they would get cooked if they offered. You know what? Also, they didn't offer over/under draft position.
That too. Yeah, they didn't.
If they offered that, it would be wraps. It'd be wraps.
Because a lot of people already don't bet the WNBA, so why overexpose yourself for no reason?
There's not going to be much handle anyways. And like the people who are betting it know it pretty well. Like WNBA is not really a sport you like say, hey, I'm gonna toss like a unit on this just because. Like
Mhm.
the only reason it would be that way just because like it's in the summer, it's by itself with a baseball. So sometimes people just want like degenerate action.
Right.
Like the majority of the like betting community, I would say most of them really don't care about the WNBA, but there's value like we saw tonight.
Um,
So
do you have any opinion on sixth player of the year?
let me pull that up. Actually, I'll pull it up on Bet Online. Give me 1 second.
What's going on, Matt, brother? Appreciate you for showing up, man. Hey, everybody that's in Twitter, YouTube, everybody actually that's in Twitter. I see about 500 people combined in Twitter. Come on down to the Twitch, man. It's Ramble Now on Twitch. Go ahead, give us a follow. Didn't play runs where? Where we got them at? They still got baseball on. I'm not
No, it's
being discriminatory here. We still love baseball, but we just
I
figured
consider
that the
myself
draft
a fan of baseball. It's just for me betting on it personally. I'm up all time, but can I do that consistently over a year, season long period? Probably not. So
162 games.
that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, bro. That's like a part time job, dude.
Baseball
Hitting the lab for MLB is legit like having a part time job.
and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is. The
Like you
hours
work from March to October. Like, dude, that's like March, April.
I'm not gonna lie, the being in the stolen base lab, bro, that's actually the most lab work I've ever done.
Dude, that's like 8 months.
Ever. It's very, very difficult. I'm honestly surprised I'm still up units. It's very, very crazy to say the least. But I do have one for late night. That is Tatis and Cubs Padres. So I picked Tatis. Reason being is because Jameson Taillon, he's a righty, so that's kind of like the type of pitchers I like to target when it comes to stolen bases. They kind of have their back to you, and so far this season, he's given base runners the largest lead. So that's kind of what you want for a stolen base is less feet to run. So I went with Tatis. You can't go wrong going with Machado. They're both kind of like tied for the most on their team right now. It's just crazy, but wow, he did.
How boy Ron Acuna, swiper no swiper.
No, that's actually
WNBA draft. The Chicago Sky select Aisha Sivka.
Oh my god, fuck, dude, I had her going 11 to the sky, not 10.
She went.
You can't make it up.
That's crazy.
Man, that was such a sharp pick by me, and I missed it just because the team has back-to-back picks.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. You said Ron Acuna. This is actually his little brother.
No
his
way.
Name is Luis. Yeah, his name is Luis.
That's crazy.
Acuna. He's.
I didn't know he had a brother in the league.
Bro, he's playing for the Mets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the same? Yeah, it's the same division, right?
Yeah.
No? Yes? No? Yeah,
I think it is the NL East. I
believe it. For sure.
But yeah, bro, he's just the guy that's doing it for his big brother at this point.
So they got the genes, the swiping bags.
Yeah, he's a GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. I got him at plus 525. And I thought that was a steal with the type of guy that he is. That's hella value right there. So regardless of whatever else happens today, I believe I'm up on the day. honestly.
go. We got
So
I got the
another.
I got the 6 man of the year market up for you.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look at it.
Bet online, the odds aren't as good as DK for some players. Some are the same. DK are a lot more better. I have in the draft Sophie Cunningham plus 1,300 to win 6 man of the year. I haven't taken it because I don't know how much volume she's going to get on a team with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Aaliyah Boston.
Right.
Because that is just a stacked lineup. Like with Stephanie White, Coach of the Year, like that team has improved so much since last year, just in terms of a roster. Like you had Christy Wallace and Lexi Hull like playing a lot last year, who I'm not too high on. But now you have Sophie Cunningham coming off the bench for you. Like that is a fantastic pickup.
Plus 600 is crazy though.
It's 1,300 on DK.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it here. But that's in my drafts. That as of let me look at this. Okay, so Sophie Cunningham, Tiffany Hayes is the chalk choice. Sorry. I think she won last year on the Aces, if I'm not mistaken, and she's on the Valkyries now, and she's on the older side, so she might just be like a vet, like a Lou Will, Jamal Crawford type 6-man, and just come off the bench, teach the starters. You know, she's on the older side. They're a new team, so she's probably not in their long-term future. So I think she'll probably take like a back seat and just teach all the the youngins the ropes and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. She'll be that.
So
be that
that's
player
the chalk
coach.
choice. I might not bet this market just because of that, and it might just be as easy as that. In terms of value, Maddie Seegers might be good. Phoebich, so Betnijah Laney Hamilton is actually out for like 4 or 5 months.
I don't even see her name.
Who?
You said
So Laney Hamilton is the starting small forward for the Liberty, but she's out for 5 to 6 months, I think, something like that. And
her eyes are not even on DK.
Phoebich is taking her spot in the starting lineup, I would guess.
Yeah.
So Phoebich for 6, man, the player of the year, it doesn't even make sense. So I wouldn't take her. Parker Tyus off the bench for the Aces is interesting. She was on the Dream last year. Pretty solid big. She'll be probably mixed in with Asia Wilson and some of the other, like Kia Stokes. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm seeing that she's 50 to 1. I'm not gonna lie, my favorite award market right now is probably Defensive Player of the Year.
What do we got?
I think I'm gonna take Cameron Brink.
What do you have it at?
20 to 1.
It's 12 to 1 on here. 20 to 1's worth.
Wow.
20 to 1 might be worth a little sprinkle.
20 to 1, seeing that what she did
in the short time she was healthy. Yeah.
Before I think she tore her ACL. Bro, she was averaging at least 2 blocks a game.
Yeah.
And I think that with a player like that, a full season doing that, it's gonna be hard to top that. It's kind of like how Dyson Daniels should be Defensive Player of the Year, because him averaging 3 steals a game, that's kind of crazy in the NBA. I don't think that's ever been done before. 3 steals a game.
Yeah, maybe Gary Payton or someone like that, but off the top of my head, I can't think of one. But
hasn't been done in like 30 years.
Wow.
So I think with 20 to 1, that's a good sprinkle.
Yeah, I think that's good value. I was looking into this market, and it seems like you have to have blocks and steals. It seems like a more big oriented award. I like the guards on this on here. Like if you look, it's like the first 6 highest odds within 2,200 on Bet Online are all bigs. Like it's a big focused award. Like Skylar Diggins is up here, but she's 33-1. Like, and then Griner, Reese, Jones, Smith, McCowan, like they're all bigs. So if you're gonna take a player for Depoy, it's probably gonna be a center or a power forward.
Yeah.
Asia Wilson and Collier are the two obvious choices, but there's no value there, so I'm not gonna bet it.
Mhm.
But I did notice that last year, like I was looking through the stats, and it's like you have to have steals and blocks. So if Brink can get some cookies in the jar, that 20-1, I mean that's worth it. So I like it.
I had 2 today. I'm gonna have to check that. I saw.
Yeah, we don't. I haven't even been able to check anything.
First
Let's
time.
go, Ron.
Oh wow, that's a
Congrats,
W.
brother.
I shouldn't tell you how to spend Mother's Day though. You should know. You should know. What's up, Sandy? How we doing, brother? Oh yeah, you know we had to come professional, man. It's a
You just missed me in my suit. I got
It's a
overheated. It's my Irish/Italian self gets overheated way too easily. So I had to.
I mean, bro, Brink should be healthy. I would assume so. She tore her ACL so early in the season. I don't even think they played 20
Yeah, it
games.
was only like 15 games in.
Yeah, I mean, she should be healthy, 100%. She should be ready for training camp right now. Like, I think she should have been practicing in the off season. Like, I think she should be ready.
It says she's gonna miss the start.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I retract
Uh,
everything I said. What the fuck? Why? She not gonna be 100% or?
Oh, never mind. That was AI. Stupid AI.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, we're
Sports
good.
Illustrated said they plan on her being fully healthy by May. So
Yeah.
we'll see. It's kind of up in the water. Like she might miss a few games to start, but we really don't know. It just depends on how she's feeling. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But,
if we want to go to, we talked about 6, we talked about coach, we talked about Depoy, most improved. We talked about. We can talk about some stat leaders. I have a bet that I haven't talked about. We talked about Cloud to lead the league in assists.
Yeah.
Leading scorer. You know what Asia Wilson's point prop is set at? Points per game?
What, 24, 23?
25. Oh, Sky pick. Hold on.
Here we go.
11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. The Chicago
Sellers, come on. What are we doing?
Haley Van Lith.
Oh my. Oh!
Here we go.
Dude,
Here we go.
the Angel Reese reunion. I got those right, but I flip-flopped them.
Bro, that was so obvious.
Oh, dude.
I honestly feel like that was a marketing
I
strategy.
switched that last night. Angel Reese
was-
and Haley Van Lith on the same team, bro. People are gonna be pulling up to the games.
Oh,
That's just a
100%.
marketing. Like you have Haley
I
Van
already
Lith.
got mine. I already got
Like
my
you
Angel
could have
Reese
taken
pick.
Cheyenne Sellers there, but Haley Van Lith in terms of media attention, just like pull, like
Yeah.
everyone in Chicago is gonna be like, "Oh shit, Haley's on the team now. We're pulling up." Like
Yeah.
she,
Well,
you know.
It's kind of like how the most I guess the games that had the biggest crowds were like fever games.
Yeah.
I think the Sky is trying to compete with that now. So
Yeah.
that's why they got Van Lith.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though is they're doing rivalry games for the WNBA season. Like they're gonna have like a week where it's like everyone who's like rivals are playing each other for the most part. And now that Haley Van Lith is on the Sky with Angel Reese, they're gonna have the championship. Or not? Maybe what was it? Last year's March Madness.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Oh my god, dude, Chewy.
Chewy can't control.
Haley Van Lith going to Chewy's team. You could not ask for a better night for Mr. Chewy. He's gonna get a jersey.
This is gonna be the first time we ever seen Chewy in a Sky jersey.
Chewy's gonna be at the games. Like this is gonna be the motivator to get Chewy to a Chicago Sky game. It might be the difference. Like, you know how that we were talking about, like, people are gonna want to go to games to see Haley, is first in line? Book of Chew.
Oh, Chewy,
He's
Chewy,
there.
Chewy, and his mom, 100%. They're definitely gonna be there, and he's gonna
100%.
have his HVL jersey with his
Yep.
HVL PRA ticket in his back pocket.
Yeah,
100%.
he's gonna take her stocks.
Yeah, right. Like, well, I hope he doesn't do that. I think her RA is probably gonna be a wagon though, with like that pick and roll with her and Reese or her and
Yeah, I
Cardosa.
mean, I had her going here just because, like, the Angel Reese reunion. I knew she was gonna go first round. I just didn't know exactly where. And then also, you have Courtney Vandersloot back on the Sky this year.
Mhm.
So that is a great point guard to learn from. I mean, we were just looking at her stats on the past few seasons. She was averaging 8 dimes a game at one point. She's either the all-time leader in assists or she's really close. I think having a guard like Haley Van Lith can score, she can rebound, she passes relatively well, but having someone like Courtney Vandersloot, who's literally like the CP3 of the WNBA, to learn how to, you hit a pick and roll, pick and fade, all that type of like the playbook and stuff.
That's a good person to have in your corner.
It's a fantastic vet to have in your corner.
Yeah, trying
And
to
I'm
be
glad that they paired her because I thought, oh no, I had her going here. So, but we got the Wings back on the clock. They have not locked anything in yet, but it says last season they allowed. Guess how many points they allowed per game?
the Wings.
Yeah,
Bro, they were fucking horrible. I would say probably like 80, 85.
92.
What? They were that bad?
Yeah,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
it was
they
just
were-
running gun. Wings overs last year was a. I don't bet totals on WNBA, but
Mhm.
the Wings overs. It's like taking the who was Alabama in college basketball or Kentucky. Like, oh, pick is in for the Wings. That was quick. I'm telling you, this is Sanaa Fagan. They have to get a big, or it's Sedona Prince, and the crowd's gonna boo. Hold on, let's see.
2025 WNBA draft. The Dallas Wings select Isaiah James.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't have her in my first round, but she missed the cut by literally. I would have had her 13th to the Aces.
Yeah,
Wait, so Cheyenne Sellers isn't a first round pick.
at all.
Isn't that correct? She's going to follow the Aces.
She go to the Aces is over.
They're going to pair her up with, it's going to be Chelsea Gray, Jewel Lloyd, new member of the Aces, Jackie Young, and now you add, and Dana Evans, a backup point guard, and then you add Sellers too. Like, this is what's going to happen. I can already see it.
Well,
This
the
is
first round is over, chat.
it's over, chat.
This concludes our stream. We'll probably have another one once the win totals come out, and we can talk
100%.
about.
I will. Last year, I didn't bet win totals. My favorite one was the Lynx over 14 and a half games. They won 30.
Yeah,
Like, I was soft for not betting the win
they
totals.
they were in the finals.
Yeah, they made the finals, and their win total was expecting them to go under 500. So we are absolutely. We'll have a follow-up stream, maybe closer to the season. Once they have the win totals up, and we can actually, and the draft's over, obviously, we can evaluate everything that's going on. That concludes the first round.
We'll also talk about a little bit more about the player averages a little bit
Yes,
more.
that's something. I only bet one so far. If you guys missed it, I bet Sabrina Ionescu under 6.5 assists per game, minus 115 at DraftKings. Put a unit on it. Don't have any others yet. May add more.
Appreciate everybody that's still in here.
Appreciate you guys for coming. We
You
want
guys
to get
are all loaded.
we want to get the boys involved with WNBA a little more. We think there's a lot of value. We don't think the books are as tapped into the WNBA as they are, obviously, for NBA, MLB, NHL, even NFL.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value. Like tonight, we saw I took Malonga last Wednesday, minus 200 to be the second pick, close minus 4,000. Isn't that like that still blows my mind? So when you have NBA playoffs on, you have NHL playoffs on, you have MLB season into full swing, and then the WNBA comes in. And I last year bet the Chicago Sky plus 11.5 against the Wings with Satu Sabali out. I took it at plus 11.5 a month before the season started. The spreads came out like probably next week. They probably come out next week. I took a plus 11.5, close at 7.5. They lost by 8.
Wow.
So if like this, talk about like you guys like CLV, like this is the sport where if you know what you're talking about, you do the research. And with the props, like Royals dived into it a little bit. There's a lot of discrepancies. The books are not as good with making props for WNBA as they are with other sports. So you'll see lines. Royal told me this once. When he used to bet it. Harika Agumbawale, 21.5 on every book except DraftKings had 17.5. 4 points discrepancy. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy for the type of player that she is. She's like a Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. So like stuff that just a few examples for you guys like of how much value there is in the WNBA market. If you follow it, look at injuries, just like you would with the NBA. There's a lot of money to be made, especially early in the season. I do have to emphasize that the value does slowly start to diminish once you get through the season and they have stats and sample sizes and stuff to go off of. But
right. But at that point, you'll be able to adjust, and you'll still be able to beat the market.
So,
but that concludes our stream, though. Thank you to everybody that showed out, and we will
appreciate
let you guys know when we have another one, and to stay updated throughout the summer. Because
if you guys liked these, let us know, whether it's in the Discord, on Twitter. To shoot us a message, let us know, let the other boys know maybe they want to get into it. Who knows? I know they're a little hesitant to get into it, but we'll see how it goes, and we will do more of these if you guys like them as the season goes on. So appreciate you guys popping out. We're gonna call it here, and we will catch you guys soon. So peace out, boys.